I particularly enjoy reading stories about people who have no idea what they're doing. I enjoy reading them. I enjoy writing them. I enjoy occupying them in character role-playing experiences. If there's anything I appreciate in a story, it's not knowing how it's going to end without that ending feeling cheap. The lead's characterization bars their author from self-insert omniscience. Albert Camus' novella, The Stranger, is about a young man, Marceau, who lives a pleasant life within French metropolitan society in Algeria. His life is filled with easily surmountable struggles, and he does not strongly relate to others. His mother passes away while living in an assisted care home, and he struggles to relate to caretakers and companions during her funeral. Upon returning home, he is still unmoved. For its part, it is fun to watch Marceau enjoy leisure activities of yesteryear. Textually, we enjoy Marceau's moment-to-moment bouts of swimming, film watching, grumbling at work, and luncheoning at his favorite restaurant. His impatient, agreeable social apathy is even relatable. Who hasn't been pleasant, despite the social circumstances, to move things along? The Stranger's stakes sneak up on you, though. Marceau's passive attitude becomes less and less appropriate as ancillary characters exert their will. Raymond, a possible pimp, indefinite dirtbag, enlists Marceau in a plot to discredit and beat his mistress one more time for old time's sake. Marceau follows along for no particular reason. He doesn't seem that interested in reducing acts of domestic violence, nor does he consider the consequences of executing Raymond's request. Ultimately, this thoughtlessness is Marceau's undoing. The mistress's brother follows Raymond to the beach. They scrap. Raymond provides Marceau with a gun, and Marceau uses that gun to kill the brother when they lock eyes on the beach. Marceau is then imprisoned. He takes a public defender instead of choosing a lawyer and is eventually executed. His friends do their best to testify for his decency, but the prosecution easily destroys his character. As he faces death alone in his cell, he comes to relate to his mother's death for the very first time. It's a poetic shift that feels earned. There are other characters that enrich the story even if they don't challenge Marceau. Marie is a sweet, pretty young woman who presses Marceau about his intentions, but not enough to get an answer out of him. Salamano is an old man who is inseparable from the mangy old dog whom he beats daily. As I see it, The Stranger is at least as much about the texture, the daily pleasures and minor pains of French metropolitan society as anything. It's a pleasant snapshot of a place in time, a smooth, stylish story of a young man who intends to abstract himself from society. It's also the story of a man who fundamentally misunderstands the extent of his privilege. Camus claimed The Stranger was a work of absurdism, counter to the early critics who interpreted it as an existentialist work. I do not know enough about absurdism to support or critique Mr. Camus' take. I also don't feel well read enough on Nazi-occupied France to speak to its specific impressions on the author. I would assume it made an extremely negative impact, if not proving wholly disassociating. In any case, in this context, I have limits, and these are they. The Stranger's prose is very, very good. I do not read French, but the English translation is fantastic. I would read a phone directory in this style. 5 out of 5 will read again. I think I might have a thing for novellas. John Hersey's Hiroshima has been my favorite book for 8 years. I just fly through them. I guess they're short, so that's the point, but yeah, I fly through these. I like them a lot.